Sound effects sound a little loud in my head right now, so I'm just gonna kick him down one more step. That sounds a little better. If it doesn't come through well enough, I can always adjust it for you guys, because I have room to turn it more. And I think we're otherwise good. For sake of argument, let's turn that off and see what happens. I tend to leave that off. This may make things go wild, and if it does, well, I can fix it. So I know exactly where it went wrong. I'm just gonna jump right ahead on in. Get this moving. Yeah, I can't afford anything in here, but I want to see what's in here. Okay, I think what it's saying is after it doubles the current crit chance, it increases it by a further 10%. Pretty huge. Not that I can afford any of these things. I'm just using this as an opportunity to look at these while I wait for people to get here. That one sounds like fun. But we may as well just get on into combat. Get this ball rolling. Yeah, that'll work. I don't really care for the Magitech sword because it involves spamming a lot of special attacks for you to get the most value out of it. Too slow. What's in the shop? That one's nice. I've yet to use that. That would be really nice. That's a boss killer. So I don't know about anybody else who has played this, but I tend to only overload against the bosses. Just to get them out of the way. So unless you've got some items to increase your overload charge, you really don't charge it fast enough to make it worth using against random mooks like these. Now, if I could just do a little better on timing those parries, that'd be grand. There's treasure. Okay. I now have 4 charges. Yeah, why not? You no-armed bandit, give me some money. Give me money. Give me money. Give me money. Or that. That's better than money. That was cheaper than if I'd bought it in the shop. Considering most things in the shop cost 500 to 600, and I only paid out like 250. Now don't get me wrong, that is not as amazing an item as I thought it was when I first saw it. Because it only can charge up to 30 health, but any healing you can get in this game is pretty damn good to have. Because this game's a little stingy on the healing so far. That may also just be because I don't have the items for it yet. Okay, double landing damage. Because if you slam on something's head, you will damage it. Parrying does damage and stuns. You can also reflect shots by parrying, like you saw there. That's why when I'm fighting an archer, you'll notice I stand a little back compared to where I could be. That's to give myself a chance to actually parry their shot. If I just got right up in there, I'd most likely just get shot in the face if I tried to parry. These rooms are always challenges to avoid shots, though the first one's obviously piss easy, but... Ooh. Drink my potion. Roll my die. Increased gold gain. Okay. I'll keep the die around. I might regret this decision. And by might, I mean I will. But, you know. Gotta have some fun in life, right? I always get caught on the tail end of his dashes. I keep thinking it won't hit me when I'm behind him. Which is obviously wrong. And jump. Dash. Zoom pummeling. Get my 3 free crits. Get out of the way. Because I could parry his dash, but I always get the timing wrong. At least for the majority of them. And yeah, I know, always in majority, but shush. Not important. Of course you chose that time to jump, huh? Don't care. Okay, now I care. Jesus, that hurts a lot. I really thought I was gonna get away with that better than I did. Wow. I threw that away. I absolutely threw that fight. Oof. That's embarrassing. Discord is yelling at me. Ah. Wait, no, I have the wrong window up now. Damn it. I'm good at this, I promise. Okay. At the rate I'm going, I probably want Shadow of the Night to be unlocked. This way I can hopefully find that. It will probably save my life. That will also save my life. This is good news. I don't know what this does, but it's probably not going to be good for me. Ah. It gives me things, but inflicts pain. Understood. Today we've learned. Oh. I've got a buff to my gun, so I may as well use my gun. Interesting. I reflected it, but it still took damage. Unless I took damage from the other guy and didn't notice. Hard to say. A lot happened in one go there. What do we got? Huh. Never saw this one before either. Presumably it unlocked from me beating the Plague Wolf the first time. I expected his shot to reach me. Turns out it didn't. Also, blocking with this revolver is a interesting maneuver. Not gonna lie. Ow. I lose the majority of my health to either failed parries or those attacks that come up through the ground, because I'm just not paying attention. Even though I absolutely see the red outline of, oh, this is going to be a damage space in a moment here. You should probably move. Instead, doesn't move. Box. Let's check out the shop. Yes. Absolutely yes. And take that healing. Nothing else to offer me that I want. At least that I could afford. Thought I was gonna skim past the arrow. Turns out, not quite. Okay. For the wolf, yeah, it'll be okay. Just short. Change strategy a bit, because I usually would just run up behind him and start either chopping or punching. Because of attacks like this that I can manipulate. But if I hang out behind him, I'm really vulnerable to him dashing. So if I stay in the middle here until he actually starts spraying, this might actually work out in my favor. Make this fight a lot easier for me. You know, till I do the same mistake anyway. Get out of there, get out of there. I threw away one fight this way, I'm not gonna do it again. I was already landing, so I was committed. I'm so glad I found a different way to throw this fight. Go me. I'm so glad that I'm so good at video games. I keep expecting him to actually go for the spray, but I keep forgetting I have to actually bait him into doing that, because he's not gonna just do it on his own. Though at this phase, I'm pretty sure he doesn't do it much anymore. Was doing so well at dealing with him last night, and now it's gotten real sloppy. Okay, we got that again. It's also a bit weird about taking my right trigger inputs. Left is fine, right is a bit finicky, and I know for a fact that that right trigger works fine. After having issues with it last night, I tested it to make sure that it was all reading correctly, and it reads perfectly fine. It just does not like the right side, which is weird. Because everything else on that side works as well. Because the bumper is what you see me using to parry everything. So it's very odd. So it's not like there's a wire bad in the middle of the controller or anything. It's making that go weird. But the missed parries are absolutely all me. That's just 100% me just timing it wrong. I won't try to blame that on the controller. But anytime you see me do something that would obviously make sense if I weapon swapped and did it, it's probably because I meant to weapon swap and it didn't. And before anybody asks if you can just avoid enemies to leave the rooms are locked until all enemies are defeated, so you have to fight everything. Now, I've only made it to the second area of this game, so I don't know anything about anything after that. But it's also like day 1 early access, so it may not even have much more after that. But what is here is already pretty damn good, so I wanted to make sure this got some attention. Not that I'm at the point where I can force something to get attention much, but doesn't mean I'm not gonna try. It's gonna be important that I remember that I can revive once because of the item I picked up. I've never had that item before, so I'm almost certainly going to have a moment's hesitation when I come back to life, because I'm not expecting it to happen. Wow, though I'm gonna end up using it up before the boss at the rate I'm going. Because I have gotten really sloppy. I may need to start actually using specials before I even get to the boss. That'll help. Now, people looking at it will probably be thinking, wow, this looks a lot like Skull the Hero Slayer. And you'd be right, this really does look very similar. Plays pretty similar, too. I would assume there were some assets bought. I don't want to assume assets were acquired in any other way, but that's admittedly also possible. This is going to make my money gun worse, but this will pay out in the long run. And if I can get that far. And since I have the revive, I'm willing to believe that I could potentially beat the boss. And make that actually pay out. We'll see in a minute. Because win or lose, this fight ain't gonna take long. Especially if I'm too slow like that and take hits pointlessly. This is fine. I can't quite reach him from where I stopped to shoot, which is unfortunate, but I'll take that over getting hurt further. Okay, we're really close to winning this now. Got him. Okay. Getting back on track. Black dice. Gold gain, okay. And on to the second area. The Empire of who knows. Land of armadillos, scorpions, and just generally unpleasant things. I've made it to the boss of this area a few times, but man, that boss is brutal. This guy will block anything that happens from the front, and he will push you anytime you hit him while he's blocking. Which, it will also stun you, so be very careful fighting the shieldman. Buy a little bit of healing from the healing fountain. Also, anyone who picks up the game and is wondering why that healing fountain is not in the shop initially, you have to buy it in the Between Run shop in order for that to appear. Nope, timed that all wrong. And another question that might be coming up is why am I not just constantly swapping weapons to get the buffs from them? That's because you have 4 swap tokens down there underneath your weapon. Attacking, parrying, and things like that will recharge your swap tokens, but you can't just sit there and mash the swap button. I believe there's also a mild cooldown, but I've never really hit it quick enough for that to really come up. Okay. Your gauges can be overcharged under certain circumstances, but not always. I'm gonna keep the die, I think. Yeah. At the rate it's rolling, I'm gonna keep the black die. Nope, I did everything wrong there. Doesn't help that I ended up swapping to the wrong weapon, too. Oh yeah, spikes work on enemies just as well as they work on us. So if you have an opportunity, by all means, just shove them into the spikes. It'll save you a lot of time. I am using the gun right now, but I need the health more. Those bouncing glaives would be a lot of fun, but I really need to play this smart right now, because this place is not particularly forgiving. Okay, there's a challenge room over here. The desert challenge rooms have been a nightmare, but let's see how it works out. This is not suspicious at all. Nope. Hello? Yep, that's about what I expected. Open box, receive mobs. Nah, I like my dice. Hey, Videx. Good morning. So I know it's a bit earlier for you than it is for me. Okay, you're just in time for the boss of this area. Oh boy. Have one revive. Might be okay. Let's see how this goes. Sun Goddess statue. Now you might think it's gonna do something. And the answer may surprise you. Because it's gonna do one very specific thing. The answer, try to crush me. Fair. Oh. Eep, 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 eep. No, 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 no. No crushy. No. I know go squish. Ow! This part sucks. You need to get to that ledge before the wind kicks in, or you will just go straight into the spikes for a while. Which, it's not too bad. It's only like 30 damage, but it's unfortunate. You know, something I've not tried is I probably can parry it jumping on my head. Now, you may be thinking, why not just rush down this phase and be done with the boss? Well, what I just said probably will give you a hint about why that's not the idea you want to go for with that. This isn't over yet. Now it's gonna take me seriously. And I have barely fought this phase, so I don't know what I'm getting into entirely. Aside from, wow, it hurts. Ooh, okay. Ooh, yikes. Okay. Wait. Oh, the revive must have kicked off somewhere in there, and it just didn't give me enough indication that for me to understand that that happened. Because I may or may not have purposely tanked that last hit trying to parry it to also see how well the revive was going to work out for me. What do I want to buy to have up here? Yeah, the Gear of Duel. Sure, we'll go ahead and take target. And I'm going to save the rest of it in case something else nice appears. Take the sword. The gun. And the gauntlet's been getting me into bad habits. I'm going to take the bow back for a little while. Okay. Oh, and for those who think this is scary, there is an easier difficulty. Enemies do half damage and you get twice as much health back. For me, this is doable, so I'll just keep going as it is. And this is why I don't really use this bow. It is really slow, just like the hammer that I left on the table, because... oh boy. They get you in trouble. And I just like the animations for the gun. I will say one thing for the bow. It hits really damn hard. Thought I was gonna kill him before he got the jump off. I gotta remember, my special gauge charges fast enough. I can just use these with relative impunity. And it'll make things a lot easier for me. Wrong weapon. That's the weapon I wanted. Oh, nice. I have all of the money now. I don't think I've had this much money in this game so far. The closest I've come to this much money is the last time I got that gold bag, as it turns out. Nope. I thought I was gonna get the parry off. Get rid of the revive. I don't need the don't get pushed. I'll take the special attack bonus. Go ahead and reroll this. Now, of note, this may sound like a great idea because it just says increases attack by 1.5%. Well, 1.5 times rather. The problem is it affects everything. The enemies will get more attack and you will get more attack. This is a Shard of Nightmare. Shards of Nightmare make the enemies stronger, while also giving you an effect. So be very careful buying these, especially since they're very expensive. I have used this, and it has worked out in my favor before. I have the money for it. Oh, to hell with it. Why not? I was considering just re-rolling the shop again, and I probably should have, because I could have bought more good things instead of buying danger. But you know what? Danger's fun. Yeah, all of that's accounted for here in the inventory. Oh yeah, it's a trace of Nightmare, not a shard. But there you go. You can also see all your current passive and active totems. And these are your current bonuses. Which, that's the other thing. Totems go into one of three types. Attack, health, and special. The further you are from an enemy, the more damage you do. Since I have the gun and the bow, I decided to grab that. Yeah, I mean, it makes some sense, but it's a bit weird, yeah. But it'll compensate nicely for how slow this damn bow is. And it should protect me pretty well from the fact that I've made everything hurt more. Still room over here we could hit up. Now, I don't know if this game has secret rooms. I've yet to find any. Wanted him to try to punch rather than trying to jump. Stupid dog. Actually, it'd be better to just use the warp. Back to the boss room. In theory, we're in a pretty good spot for this fight. In practice, the 1.5 damage might kill me really fast. We'll see. Wants to jump on my head. Okay, that experiment's paying out a bit. Need to wait for my overdrive to wear off. There we go. That one move is what this bow is perfect for. And he's gonna do it again. He's just handing me this win on a silver platter. I'll take it. That, I think, was the easiest this fight has ever gone for me. Oh, don't worry. We'll still not make it past the second boss, probably. Besides, you encouraged chaos, and we both know that I thrive on chaos. Exactly. Everybody wins. I'm still trying to learn the parry timing on those spears, but they are both really slow and really fast at the same time, if that makes sense. They got a long wind-up, and then it's just suddenly spear in face. Huh. Never seen that one before. I mean... This is my MO, but so is this kind of. Getting lucky and having just random things drop for me is pretty accurate too. When in doubt, explosions. Too late. You are correct, but you spoke just a second too late. I'm gonna come back for it anyway. Because remember, this area's only just started. I'll get enough money to pick that up, too. It was more just... Yeah, that's accurate. I thought I timed that right. Turns out, nope. Later. I was hoping I bumped him into the spikes. Nope. Look at me, look at me. Oh, he bounced back on. That's upsetting. Damn it. Spear reached further than I thought. Well, there went the extra life. I heard the sound cue this time, at least. Womp womp. There was nothing up here anyway. Bad. Just deal with those, not fighting those straight up anymore. Nope. We've had enough incidents involving spear and face. We don't need more of those. You know what? Everyone is dummies. Just wanted no part of dealing with that room. Should have went the other way and got the item. Didn't look at the map. Well, we found the boss. Not dealing with that till I've at least gotten the item, and I'm gonna go grab the 4-leaf clover as well. So I think we have enough now. It was 9 something. Ooh. They really want me using the bow. Well, and the gun, but... I might actually try to use the gun on the first phase of the boss. Because it'll help me keep away from the slams. Because when it just does the short hop, because I'm right next to it, it's a lot harder to avoid. Without a doubt, the bow is going to be too slow. I might be able to do something during parts like this with the bow. I'll think on that. We might be hooped for health, though. I think I've got low enough health that unless I do really well, I'm gonna die. I did that all kinds of wrong. Ah! If that bullet hadn't missed, I would have managed to break through that phase. Ah, I got greedy. I shouldn't have shot. I should have just kept dodging. Oh, God. I'm not gonna lie, I expected one of those statues in those shrines to just fall over on you arbitrarily, but it never happened. I don't need that. This is probably good. And the rest of this... yeah, I'll buy that too. Neat. Huh. I mean... they did say cannon dog. I didn't expect it to be that literal. But, that's a thing. Dreamworld's weird, yo. I was timing based on the arrow, figuring the dog was going to be dead before I got to that point, but nope. That didn't work out. What's in the box? Okay. 4 overcharge is always good. Just repositioning because my leg was falling asleep. Didn't expect this place to be a dead end, but I suppose I should have. Use the warp, stupid. No sense walking all the way back through all that. I'll take the shield. Stomping shoes are funny and all, but they're not very effective. I'm not gonna buy the heal yet. I'm gonna save it for when I'm gonna need health more in about a minute. As you see, with that shield, I have a 1 in 10 chance of just not getting hit in the first place. Is when a hit lands. And if we get to a challenge room that's actually difficult, you'll get an idea for why, in particular, that item is useful. Because there's definitely some nonsense I've managed to pull off in those challenge rooms. Game. Thank you. It, for some reason, just did not want to select that teleporter. So, in hindsight, the game's probably right in suggesting that I go to the shop and heal. Because I've only just now looked at my health bar. So let's go back to that portal that the game was so trying to send me to. Because sometimes the game knows better than I do. Yeah. I'm gonna top off. It's probably cost inefficient, but I'd rather hedge my bets, considering the amount of times that this fight has gone poorly. He's being real dashy this time. Okay. I like the overcharge for the guns. I almost came through that perfectly if he hadn't put a damn damage space under my feet while I was shooting him. Cheeky bastard. I didn't realize he could place those outside of the radius of his attack. I thought those were limited to that. Huh. Almost a perfect fight, though. And to think, I was worried that I was gonna need full health. As always, expectations versus reality. I didn't think I was going to manage to parry that one. Voodoo doll again. Explosive seed. I could get the gauntlets, but I'd have to give up one of the weapons I'm carrying. This recycles a totem you have. It chooses randomly, though, so if you've got things you like, you may not want to use it. I'm ambivalent towards what I've got, so you know what? Go for it. Oh, good. I got rid of that thing. That's actually perfect. Excellent. The only thing I would have been particularly upset about losing would have been the shield I have. And even that wouldn't have been the worst thing to lose, considering it's only a 10% chance. The animation on those slimes is so small that it's hard to see when they're actually attacking, if there's anything else around. Ah, good. We get to show off how the shield can break these. Potentially. That's if I even get hit. I would not mind not getting hit. Damn it. These are pretty rude. Thankfully, they are not at all required, and you have an exit to these if you choose to give up. That right there is it kicking in, though. You saw the wooden piece break when I hit that spike? It blocked the damage so I don't get sent back to the start of the puzzle. If it keeps triggering, I can end up passing through this no matter what I hit. And I basically get a free pass through the challenge. Yeah, it's 10% chance. I don't know if these are parryable. I've never actually tried. In hindsight, I probably should try that. Oh my god, I can parry those. It's a whole new game. Oh. I like that I got the parry, but I'm mad at myself for falling in the spikes afterwards. There have been certain parts where I have felt forced to move because of the arrows coming at me. Ah! That last section down there really sucks. Ah. These are this one's pretty brutal. This one, I'm not the biggest fan of this one. I have admittedly lost like 100 health to this puzzle because I was too stubborn for my own good the first time I did this. God damn it. I thought I was making that jump. Turns out, no. Okay, I'm gonna spend another 20 health on this. If I botch it 10 more times, we're out of here. Oh, thank you, shield. God damn it! I jumped over the arrow at the bottom just to hit my head on the other one. I hit the edge of the spike with my foot. The shield saved me. Okay, good, good. God damn it. They made that area so small that it's just a son of a bitch to try to jump over anything in there. The problem is, if you try to dash, your dash is just long enough that you have to do that perfectly as well. That you have no good choice in that situation. Which, you know, done on purpose. They wanted to make it really problematic. And they succeeded. Because, man, I hate this part. But we did it. Huh. Okay, enemies are strengthened, but I don't understand how a health recovery increase makes them stronger. Maybe I'm misunderstanding how the Traces of Nightmare work. Maybe they don't directly do the thing it says on the item. Maybe it just makes them generally stronger. So I never did check my math to see if enemies are doing half again damage with the other one either. So I might have just been barking up the wrong tree to a degree there the whole time. They might just be like your standard curses. I also can't help but notice that there's another challenge room. Ooh, I've not seen this one. What is this one? Ah, I see. Arrows rain from the sky and upset me. Yep, that's my face. In spikes. I thought I was gonna get just behind the arrow because I didn't want to wait But yeah, here's the bell to give up to open the door. But if you give up, you cannot reset it. Once you give up, you're done. And that's what I mean about the dash length being a thing. Well, it's not permanent. It's just for the trip you're doing. You can't try the challenge again. Oh yeah, no, this game is all about not pulling any punches so far. And I respect that. I fell faster than the arrow was flying. I'm upset about that one. The rest of these were my fault. That one, I disagree. In the end, it's still my fault for jumping the gun. But at the same time, I feel like those arrows should be flying faster than that. So I suppose there's an argument for them having reached terminal velocity by that point. Oh, hooray! I gained 5 more max HP. Oh. Oh, never mind. Never mind. I take it back. This is a reusable thing. Okay, never mind. I'm shutting up now. The game has corrected me in a very good fashion there. I still don't really want half of this. I mean, Voodoo Doll is probably the right choice. Even though it's really damn expensive. So I'm gonna need the range against this boss coming up. Well, that went poorly. Oh, and it's just continuing to go downhill from here. Great. You know, maybe there's more to that voodoo doll than meets the eye. Because, man, that thing's been bad luck ever since I picked it up. And again, I suppose I should actually take advantage of its mechanic. Good. Please be something good. Yeah, that's fine. Now my dashes do damage, which, considering the amount I dash, that's fantastic. Now back to the shop in order to purchase some additional healing. Or I wait and try to get the bigger heal. So actually, all health recovery is doubled. So since this heals 20%, does that mean it'll heal 40%, or does that mean it'll heal 30%? Well, not exactly directly 30%. It'll heal more than 20%, but not actually 40%. I might also be able to afford to use the fountain twice. I don't remember how much it increases each purchase. Yeah, I can afford to use the fountain twice. The fountain was the right choice. Okay. Just brief mental gymnastics as I do all that math of the potentials in my head. Whether any of that math was correct or not, the end result was correct, so that's all that matters. still have to play it real safe going forward, though. Because we're going to need all the health we can get for that boss. And there's still a chance we'll be able to afford another heal before that. But it's still in our, much in our best interest to make sure that we get everything we can. I once again disagree with taking damage from behind something. Why are you able to cross those gaps? Why? And yet again, I say, let's be careful, and then I immediately lose half the health I had. I gotta stop jinxing myself. Other people do plenty of that. I don't have to do it to myself. Absolutely not looking at a particular name in the chat right now at all. Nope. Not at all. Apparently it's raining armadillos. I'm guessing he hit the wall spikes there. He's not tall enough for that, is he? Nope. Well, I can do this. Not sure that was a very efficient use of my energy, though. I'll have to see how that plays out. Because now I won't have my specials for the boss, potentially. I think, yeah, that was the last room. That was actually probably a bad idea. But the health saved might be important. Now, the only thing is, I also didn't clear enough rooms to get the mushroom to recharge. So we didn't gain any more health total before this either. So we're going in a bit beat up, and we're just gonna have to make do. God damn it. I didn't have control back during the gunfire to respond to that in time. God damn it. No, no more of your spikes. Enough out of that. God damn. It's hard to tell where those attacks are coming from after a certain point. And she just starts flinging them in every direction. Because I had a ranged attack coming from one side, but she was also charging the other way. Yeah, that... Jesus. That starts getting real bad. Against my better judgment, I'm going to try the hammer again. Oh boy. That's actually fantastic with how frequently I don't use my specials. Yeah, the hammer is really powerful, but as you can see, really damn slow. Special's pretty devastating, though. I've never actually used that one before. There. I have corrected the mistake from before. I've bought the 4-leaf clover immediately. That one was just embarrassing. So admittedly, switching the bow out for the hammer will make the wolf fight a lot harder for me, since I won't be able to as easily just shoot the wolf while it's doing the one charge. But the gun can reach, I just need to position better. Yeah, I don't really need the healing at the moment. I say as I'm about to go fight the boss, so now I'm gonna somehow end up dying because I'm missing the 17 health. Oh wait, the bottle conveniently has 17 charge in it. There we go, we're going in with full health. Everything's fine. Of note, even if you miss the parry timing, you will still be counted as blocking, so you will take less damage. So gambling on a missed parry is still better than not parrying at all. Since that most likely wasn't clear based on how I've been playing it. Because I reflexively don't parry because I think I'm not going to manage to make it. Shit. I swapped the wrong way and ran out of counters. The clone is going to be the thing that screws me again. And when he's standing in the damage floor, it's really hard to see it. God damn it, quit spamming that. It's hard to hit you when you're just constantly charge spamming. I know that's all the more reason for you to do it, but stop. Yep. I knew I was losing that fight, so I figured I'd just go out swinging. There's so many little mistakes you can make in that fight that just throw the whole thing out the window. And this one I have to assume is just a wording issue. What I assume it's intended to read as is it doubles your crit chance and then adds an additional 10%. I think this is just really literal translation that just needs to be cleaned up. That said, whichever way it works, I want that. Yeah. I can't help but feel like we've been there before somehow. I feel like that's history repeating itself. We'll be fine, dead. See, and I bought this item before. It doesn't really feel like it made the parry window that much wider. I'm gonna leave it on the table. I don't trust it. The other option is I buy it and re-roll it. See, the thing is, I felt it, and I still don't... I don't believe it's 50%. I know it made it a little wider, but I don't think it was 50% wider. Yeah, I'm gonna buy it and re-roll it. That wasn't worth it. God damn it. This is what happens when you trust Chaos a little too much. Which statue is up here? Ah, I thought he was gonna reach that low. Once again, being cheeky and paying for it. Ah, the trade money for... I mean, trade health for money guy. Yeah, I'll take a hit of that. I like this one. This gives me a little of everything. Now, the sad thing is, I just spent health for money, and I'm gonna go heal. So I get the feeling that's going to be diminishing returns. But I'd have to actually have paid attention to how much gold I got out of that for me to know whether I really wasted my money or not. I feel like in theory that should have been a profitable exchange, but somehow I doubt that. And now the parries start falling apart. What do you know? We're right back at the health I just spent money to fix. I suppose that in and of itself makes it feel like I wasted my money. Ignoring the fact that if I didn't heal, I'd be in an even worse position right now. I mean, I could go heal at the fountain. But with the bow, I might not even take much damage from the wolf, so I could save my money. I hate it when I think this way. I get that sneaking suspicion that I've set myself up for failure. Huh. So there's actually a window where he's flipping back over, where he doesn't actually have a hitbox. Huh. Missed it. Okay, he's half health now. He'll be more than likely going to go into howling now. Yep. Yeah, that breath attack really damn hurts if you... Oh, and here's where it all starts falling apart again. Yeah, especially when you hit the wrong button, Genius. Good job. Son of a bitch. Okay, still made it work. Everything's fine. That could have gone so much better, but it could have gone a lot worse. Okay, we just made a ton of money. So, let's quickly go to the shop and fix some of this. Actually, I don't know if I get healed when I leave. Let me not risk wasting all this money. I'll gamble on surviving. Nope, don't heal when you transition. Okay, good. Good to know. That was a huge gamble, because there could have been spikes down there, and it would have gone really bad. Huh. That's really powerful. Okay. I'm in. The fact that these pots sometimes have healing in them really means I should probably be breaking all of them instead of ignoring them. All the little things you start to learn as you start paying attention. One moment. Oh, okay. Nothing I need to look at. Everything is fine. Saw a bunch of Discord notifications, and it's like, I should probably make sure that's nothing people are trying to immediately reach me for. Definitely buying the motor. I'm torn on this one because 2 items in the shop become free, but I'll get like about half gold. The problem with that idea is the 2 free items might become these 2 stupid things up here, and it doesn't trigger immediately. Great. Great. And it doesn't count if I come back to the shop either. Ah, dang it. I'm pretty sure it said it wasn't going to. Yeah. Actually, what am I carrying right now? I mean... With my luck, the reroll is going to eat one of the good items and keep all the crap, so I'm not going to bother. We had to find out. One way or the other, science had to be wrought. This will heal me, so I'm not going to use it yet. At least I'm pretty sure that statue heals. It might be the other angel statue I'm thinking of. At which point I may do something terrible when I run over there at low health. And it just, like, teleports me to hell or something. But one way or the other, we'll check that before we fight the... Oh, I guess we're checking that now, because I'm out of rooms other than the boss anyway. Well, it'll either give me 12 health, or it'll do something interesting. It healed me. Okay. I thought I was right on that, but... You can never be sure until you use it. Okay, so... I've got a decent amount of supercharge. I've got full overcharge. Let's do this. Thank you. I'm probably going to need it. I'd be happy enough just doing this phase pretty cleanly. I'd count that as pretty clean. Not as good as I was hoping for, but not bad. Okay, that's got too much of a delay on it. That was not a good call. And I went and hit the wrong button again. Okay, that does cancel her out of doing that if I manage to get the parry. Okay, so parrying is vital against this boss. That's what that tells me. Ah, those move. Okay. Every new attack I learn against this thing basically leads to a death. Almost every time, because those attacks just hit so hard. Like, I'm pretty sure that attack was a straight health bar. I was not missing much health, and every single one of those orbs did 23. So unless there was less than 10 orbs, you're basically SOL if you get hit by all of them. Which is, needless to say, really unfortunate. I'm gonna leave the gun off this time. I take the gauntlet and the bow. Sword is a guaranteed take every time. It's a good all-around weapon. On the bright side, we are turning a decent profit in shards. So one way or the other, we will continue to gain power to the point where we will hopefully win. Not that I'm intrinsically getting power by spending these shards, but it's giving me more options for things that will actually help. I really thought he wasn't going to reach me. Ignoring the fact that there was an indicator telling me, yes, he's going to reach you, you should probably move. Yeah, I knew I was getting too fancy there. This was the angel statue I was thinking of that heals you. So that one definitely also heals. I'm not gonna waste it, though. I thought about hitting it just because I knew I was gonna forget to come back for it. But just in case I do remember to come back for it, or somebody yells at me that I need it when I'm about to die. I don't really want any of these. So I guess we're just gonna walk away from the shop for now. Man, I fumbled that one bad. Good thing we got enough money to afford healing. His fingers just went, you want me to do what? Where, when, why? Ooh. Okay. See, now it might actually... Well, no, because we were already in the shop, so it probably won't work again. Yep, doesn't do crap. Well. Though, I should probably spend my money on some healing. There we go. Of course you... was trying to capitalize on the fact that I had stacking damage gears on him. But nope. No such luck. I think that's a very good combination of moves right there. At least for fighting this guy. The way he can spawn himself on my head and then do the dash is kind of annoying. And there we go. That could have been cleaner, but I'm happy enough winning. Thought he was gonna die before he got the stab. This could be going better, but at the same time, this is probably the best I can expect out of this area. I don't know where the shop is. We haven't seen it yet, I don't think. This may end up being the only other run of this right now, though. Did not wake up the best today. This is gonna give me a trace of nightmare. I've encountered this thing once before. Hell with it, why not? Okay. Okay, I'm absolutely fine with that. I am 100% down for lifesteal in exchange for the enemies hitting a little harder and being a little stronger. Because with the way half of our fights go, we're gonna end up essentially with a health profit. Admittedly, we may end up losing as much as we gain because of the way the other half of the fights go. But I think it'll be okay. If nothing else, it'll make this run more interesting. Not that we have much time left in it, considering we're almost to the boss, and we're more than likely going to get detonated again. I'm still trying to figure out what the right answer to that boss is, aside from just parry harder. Which, don't get me wrong, the answer to everything in this game seems to be parry harder in the end. Is just parrying everything means you're not gonna die. Okay, that worked out. We got 2 items I was definitely going to buy for free. This probably will help against the boss, actually, because I can lob more triple arrow shots. I was hoping that was gonna be how that worked. So for those who didn't catch what happened there, when I rerolled the shop, the things that were made free by the item when we got here, those slots remained flagged as being free. So I got a free heal and a free item. I did, however, just notice something odd that I'm now trying to figure out. Am I crazy, or did we have 200 health before and we now have a maximum of 190? That's concerning. I don't know if that... Yeah, that's fair. I don't know if that happened... Well, I can say this. I know for sure that we had 200 at the start of the run. So I know I lost 10 somewhere. I just don't know where. My assumption would be that I lost it when I got that Trace of Nightmare. Since it did the damage effect when I grabbed it. It more than likely took 10 and off my health bar and gave me the Trace of Nightmare. That is, again, an assumption, so I can't guarantee anything. And I'm standing here because I just realized the first phase of this is going to be a lot harder now because I don't have the gun. Without the gun, I have to get really close to the stompy angry statue. Oh, that plan did not go at all how I was hoping it would. Because I was hoping that I was going to hop in there just in time for the end of that attack. And then sneak in some free hits. Turns out, the exact opposite happened. That said, still got through that phase reasonably smoothly. Just, if I hadn't done a foolish play there, we would have been fine and come out of that basically full. Jesus! If you happen to just be in the wrong place at the wrong time when she calls those orbs, you're just done. Ooh, floor is lava. Floor is lava. I'm sorry, what? I... I... Hmm. 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 Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. Everywhere is lava. Everywhere is pain. Oh, boy. They might want to tone that boss down a little bit. Woo. I think they gave her too much hot cocoa. Didn't you see her spraying it everywhere? Oh boy, yeah, no, I'm done. I am done right now on that one. I like this game, but man, that boss might need a little work. Ooh boy. Ooh boy. That was nasty. Now the question becomes, do I want to do the comparison I was initially thinking about doing, or do I just cut it here? I was gonna do a short segment on Skull the Hero Slayer. Skull the Hero Slayer was what I was thinking about. Dead Cells was a debated idea, but I ended up shelving that because they're not quite that similar. At least not in my opinion. I'd say Skull and Nightmare are the two closest comparisons to each other, since they both use the same mechanic. Nightmare has 3 things you swap between, whereas Skull has 2 things you swap between. Yeah, I guess I'll do a run or 2 of Skull to make my point. So, warning, I am super out of practice with Skull specifically because, as Steam is telling me here, I last played it last year. Almost exactly a year ago. So that's gonna be a thing. But once we get this rolling, I think everyone who hasn't seen Skull will understand why I make that comparison almost immediately. Once the game decides to actually boot. There we go. Why it was taking that long, I haven't the slightest idea. I have nothing I can spend. Out the window we go. And so it begins. Now, one of the main differences between Skull and Nightmare is you don't have a default parry ability that I'm aware of. You are much more reliant on your dodge to survive. And throwing your skull to move around. Okay, sure. Like, I would say Skull is more detailed, but that's also because Skull's been out a lot longer. So, it's had time to get a lot cleaner. Nightmare has the potential to reach the same point. Whether it'll get there is hard to say. That ends up being up to the developers. What's kept me from playing Skull as much as I otherwise would is exactly what you see here. The combat with just your basic Skull is not engaging particularly, in my opinion. You don't have that many options. You just wave your bone at the enemy until they die, dodging where necessary so as to not die yourself. And the fact that you can just hit stun enemies like this is kind of a problem. It makes you feel powerful, but it also means enemies like this are not exactly a threat at all. Making them reliant on throwing around a lot more bigger, nastier enemies in order for the gameplay to get engaging. And even they can be knocked around enough that you can work around their ability to attack you reasonably easily. Now, how that worked is the longer it took you to clear them all out, the more expensive this chest was going to be. Okay. What's mildly confusing me is I thought you started with one other skull, but I might have missed... Oh, yeah. I think I was supposed to talk to the hunter before I left, and that was where I was going to get the other starting skull. But that just goes to show how long it's been since I played this game. Thankfully, we'll be able to pick up a new skull here. Okay. And I guess that's the only option I've really got. Actually, no, that trades what skull you have. That won't actually get us another one. They really want me to go all in on the dashing. I'm not gonna lie, that's kind of how I do things, so sure. But see, now I don't have my throwable skull. I just have this shield. I wanted to make sure I was right about that. Now, I want to say this is going to lead to the boss, which is going to be a bit of a problem. So we are ill-prepared. Okay, that does work with how we've got things going, since the dash is an actual attack now. So there might be a trick I can do here. But I don't know about this idea. Thankfully, this one's not too bad to fight, so this might actually be okay still. Especially if I can keep freezing her like that. This is going to be a mild problem, though. Okay, I managed to position that out of my way. And that's that. I could get a sword. Okay. I don't have a quintessence right now, so that doesn't help me. This is useful, but I think we need the other head. And that's the actual mechanic of this game, is each skull you have allows you to take on an entirely different form, which usually has 2 abilities. The 2 we've grabbed so far have been ones that only have 1. Yeah, she wants to kill the witch. I don't have any bones, so I can't do anything with that. May as well go this way. Now, as with Nightmare, as you switch, different things will trigger. Because each skull will do a different move based on what you're switching to. Like, the Ent will pop out of the ground like that, dealing damage in an area, whereas the shield skull gives you a barrier. We're getting to a bit of a bad spot. Now, one thing I will always credit this game for is its designs. The designs all look good. And it's by no means a bad game. It's just a less... the combat is just less engaging at the lower end. Once you get further in, you can get some skulls that are very fun to play with, but your basic skulls are just really boring, in my opinion. And that makes it hard to get through the earlier parts of the game. Not because it's more difficult, but because I just get bored before I get far enough to get to the interesting content. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Which of the two do I want to swap? Probably Shield Skull. Of course, that's the trick with the Bomber Skull. As it says on the tin, the Bomber Skull just explodes. Given a bit of time, he'll just pop. Sure. Pretty much. Sure, we'll swap Bomber for that. I guess we're now discount Kratos. I don't know. On we go. Now, you may be questioning the fact that I'm constantly hitting explosive barrels directly. They don't hurt me. They only hurt them. Or if they are hurting me, it's not much, so I've not noticed. Sure. Well, you've got the answer to your question. This is what's next. Just look at this walk cycle. This is what I mean about the design on these being great. I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna get them all. Defeat all the humans. And now it's time for the area boss. The archer was just a mid-boss. This is the real boss. Yeah. I continue to war with the trees, apparently. Ow. That was a bad time to stomp. I don't anticipate winning this fight. And that's why. Unless I can power through him while he's down like that. Which, wait. Yeah, okay, we just barely got that. Except for the fact that there's a second phase. And no, I didn't forget that he had a second phase. But figured that would do as a surprise. What is with you in the shield? Why do you insist on me having the shield today? But yeah, at the Witch, you can spend the Dark Quartz you got to boost yourself permanently. It's expensive. Well, I say expensive. It's not actually that bad once you actually start getting decent distance. And you can also pay the Fox Hunter to give you a different skull if you get one you don't want. I don't think I've had this one. Okay. It's a stabby one. But as you can see, a lot of the skulls do play differently. So, there's value in that. My only real issue is just with the basic skull. I find it lacking. Not even that it's weak, it's just, it's lacking in actual gameplay. And even this skull doesn't have a lot to its gameplay, but it's at least got a move it does to vary things up, and its dodge is different than the other ones. It actually rolls away from an attack instead of just sliding through. This thing's also gonna make me a lot of money. Because that's the thing with the Petty Thief, is he's pickpocketing everybody he's stabbing. So you end up making ridiculous gold. What do we got? Ooh. Okay, sure. Bark, bark. Bark, bark. And as you see there, spikes aren't an insta-kill for them or me. But if something has enough health, it can just chill down there in the spikes. I will take the damage to get the loot. What does predation do again? Okay, it's a claw attack that deals magic damage and heals me. Okay. I mean, they are just thorns, so I guess it makes sense that they just hurt instead of murdering. Because while thorns hurt, they're not exactly known for killing people. Feels weird shaking the trees down for money. I feel like that doesn't work. Sure. Hot damn, that's expensive. 5,400 dark quartz for this thing? I mean, sure, it's a revive, but it's also only with 40 health. You kidding me? If I had a quintessence, I'd grab this in a heartbeat. Can I buy one? Got money. Oh, okay, it is a quintessence of its own. Okay. It just didn't read necessarily like it was a quintessence. Okay, so when I use it, it summons a turret. It'll attack things in front of it. When it gets attacked, it'll shoot faster. And if it hits 300 targets, it will turn into the King Dwarf quintessence. Sure. And then there's this fucking guy. Aside from the animations, I think the thing I appreciate the most about this game is the fact that the heroes are the bad guys for a change. And that's that. Get the feeling I need the armor, though. Well, in this case, it ends up being a matter of perspective. The heroes are the bad guys to us, because they came in, wrecked shop in our home castle. I want to say they either, like, destroyed the head demon or captured them. I don't remember which off the top of my head. Which is one of the things we're working on, is going to get everybody back that's been taken by the Empire. You know, it's the same old thing of, well, whoever's on the other side of a conflict, to the ones that they're killing, they're the bad guys. That's just how it always will go. It doesn't matter if the other side's actually, in fact, correct. The side that's getting attacked is going to be upset. That's just how it goes. But the more you look at the dialogue these guys have and pay attention to how even the adventurer hero characters are acting, they're portrayed in a bad light on purpose. mean, I may even be looking deeper into it than it is intended. But it's a good point to make that even a hero isn't always a good person. Because a hero to some is also someone who is destroying a lot of things that are either things that belong to someone else or perhaps just slaughtering an entire species. Again, that is deeper than necessary, but that is a fair concept. Okay, Monkey King. Oh yeah, and not every character in these shops will be here every time. The Skull Swap guy's not here this time. And we don't even need to get into the whole JRPG protagonist thing of, hey, let's just go break into everyone's houses and take anything that's not nailed down, because hero privilege. Just, haha, I'm the good guy, therefore I'm allowed to do whatever I want. I feel like I should be insulted, the fact that you think I need bones just because I'm a skeleton. But at the same time, these are useful, so I'll take this. I will say, I hadn't played this much since it hit 1.0. It does feel a lot better than it did when I played it before. I will say that. And as I've said many a time so far, I have nothing against this game. That's just the only direct comparison I can make. Is that right out the gate, the combat for Nightmare feels better to me. But to other people, that may not be the case either. All things end up being personal choice there. I can't point at much that's objectively different in a negative sense. The bosses are still brutal in both cases. And honestly, I think both games suffer from their bosses outstaying their welcome a bit. It's also really unhelpful that this turret is apparently just completely useless in this fight. But I think with those two runs, I've made my point. You've seen how similar these two games are. Of the two, does Skull still have higher production value? At the moment, yes. Will that stay the case later? Who can say? That all depends on what the developers choose to do. But with that, I think we will make a fairly short stream of this for the day, and thank you all for coming by.